Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's flower arranging tutorial. I'm Hannah, and today I want to make one of my favorite types of arrangements with you. This is something that I kind of envision would be in like a farmer's house or, on like a country kitchen table. And I love the way arrangements like this just kind of flow and have such a natural feeling. So the way I'm going to do this is I've chosen a large fish bowl. But you could use, an urn or something like a family heirloom, maybe a ball jar. The key is just using something that's special to you and that has a little bit of a different shape. And then the flowers too. So the flowers I've chosen for my focals, I have these lavender Gerbers. They're kind of more of a pink color. Lavender doesn't come that often in Gerbers, so this is just a really pretty focal that has that pop that you want. You can also grow it in your garden. That's one of the reasons I wanted to use it. The next, geranium foliage. And I just love the smell of geranium foliage. It's so fresh and fragrant, and the leaves are really soft, and so are the stems. It's kind of a pubescent type feeling. Perfect for a little natural farmer's arrangement. Next, I have some hot pink spray roses. Once again, very gardeny. Lavender buttons. Bells of Ireland. And then aspidistra leaves. So for my farmer's arrangement, I don't really need these leaves to make any defining piece in the arrangement. So I'm just going to use both of them as a leaf wrap. So I'll just take both together, so I can easily cut through both. Remove the edges, and just twist them inside my vase. Let them unravel. And they always kind of go straight to the shape of the vase. It's such an easy way to do things. So next, I'm going to start with my nice filler. So for this, I'm going to use my buttons first. And these are just a really nice filler. They're great if you want to do a bud vase too, because there's lots of little laterals. And I want this to be kind of a loose arrangement, but I also want the buttons to kind of just hold everything together. So I'm going to cut these a little bit shorter. Plus, they're not exactly the defining feature of the arrangement, so I don't need to make them as front and center as everything else. So I'm just going to make like a nice little crosshatch for everything else to fall into with the buttons. Be my last one. This is just going to keep us all together and just keep things flowing nicely. The next thing once I have, now that I have this nice lattice, the Bells of Ireland. These are really going to give us that, unique, whimsical, kind of out there look. So I'm going to cut this into two pieces. One's just going to be a straight stick at the bottom with a couple blooms. And then the other is just going to have this nice curved, exciting look. And that's really where I get that natural sense from. So I've just taken off any leaves that fall below the waterline. And I'm just going to place this however I feel like. You'll notice I'm kind of letting this just go out to the side because I really want this to feel like I've just gathered things from the garden and they're kind of just flowing outwards. Now the middle portion of the arrangement is going to be much more tailored, but the bells are really going to bring that interesting look to the piece. So I'm just going to do this with a couple pieces. And I don't need to follow any certain rhyme or reason with these, just really to make something that's different and unique. Gonna pull off some flowers. It's just very interesting shape. Now the wonderful thing about bells is definitely this nice minty scent. It's very unique. There we go. So you've kind of got this like spider web type look going on, which is really fun and different. Next, I'm going to take these little guys. They're just going to kind of pop in and out as a little bit of a filler. Kind of the same way the buttons are going in and out. It's going to fill in the piece, but also make sure that we're not wasting anything, because you know, everyone deserves their little place in the arrangement. You just had to find a good place for them. There we go. So I've already got this full piece. Now it doesn't have that bang yet, which we're going to see for later. So next, actually we'll go to our geranium foliage next. So I'm going to cut this again into two pieces because it has room for it. And this is just going to kind of billow out the sides. It's going to give that feeling like it's just growing from a pot in your front yard. You may think right now we have so much greenery going on, but the nice focals that we have coming in, you totally won't think that it's all greenery. There we go. So pretty already. So next, we're going to move on to our sprays. And you're definitely going to have some extra little pieces. So save these for little bud vases for later. So when all these little buds open, you're really just going to see how full and lush the piece looks. And this, we're just going to kind of fill in the center. Now these aren't going to be our focal, but they're definitely going to bloom and add to the piece. So kind of loosely place them in, kind of meandering in between the bells and the buttons, just helping to make that little statement accent. Ooh. There we go. Now nothing has to be perfect, of course. I really want this piece to scream like, you know, I did this, just walking out to my garden, kind of cutting little things that I loved. Which is the perfect thing. You always want your floral arrangement to be exactly what you love and to say a lot about yourself. So now I'm just going to pull everyone out so you can kind of see everything that's in this bouquet. Now it's time for the showstoppers. So you can always wire these or use a little sleeve if you want to. Since I'm putting them in a low piece, the Gerbers don't really need that much support from me. So I want these to just be in a small group right in the front center. Now this arrangement is all around, but I still want it to have that defined focal spot. So I'm going to make that focal kind of in the front, but also in the middle of the top. That way from the back, from the sides, you can still see what's going on a little bit. Just cutting them with a sharp knife. So now everybody's in place. We can kind of fluff out. And we just have this nice, natural arrangement that can go anywhere in your house. And I just love kind of moving the bells around so they're even more funky and exciting. There we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you next week. I hope you find lots of garden inspiration to use in your arrangements. Thanks for joining us. Bye.